let you guys have this. All right, we are live this time around. We are choosing to do a standing exercise over a sitting one. And the reason behind that is because sometimes it's better to stand than to sit. So, with that being said, today we're talking about something very valuable, right? And so, a lot of people are going to say that if they're, these are more so motivational clips, right? But this is not motivational stuff. It's more so um, stuff that you should maybe use. Yeah, it's kind of trash still. And now it looks like I'm in pure darkness. So I guess we'll just leave that on and you'll have to deal with the glare that's created by this one over the glare that's created by this one. All right, cool. So there's before we get into that, I guess in more detail, my name is Emmanuel Velasco, and sometimes I say some stuff on the internet that is pretty crazy. And if you want to fact check me, I highly recommend that you do that because it's always great to have more than one resource and not trust some random dude that's here on the internet talking to you guys. So more so than doing that, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe and join in the conversation, right? And if it's something that interests you, just make sure you leave a comment below so that we can see that and have a dialogue. Now, with that being said, like I said, this is the magic book called Meditations that is sealed to the deal. And the only line that I ever need in this book is the back side of this. That's it, because that's so powerful. So, what it says is, if someone can prove me wrong and show me my mistake in any thought or action, I shall gladly change. I seek the truth, which never harmed anyone. The harm is to persist in one's own self deception and ignorance. Speaking of that, so there was something that just happened right now. So I'm recording over here on this screen, right? And so I have the microphone here. You may see that this is green, but it was definitely red the whole time that I was speaking just now until I realized. And so there's that. So that's kind of horrible. So mistakes happen sometimes. The technology is only as good as its wielder. And so if you could wield the technology skillfully, then it'll be a super powerful tool. And if you don't wield it skillfully, then it will just be a tool that dum dum's using because the tool is going to be as weak as you are, and vice versa, right? And so if you find your, I guess on this point, if you find your weaknesses, right, do not try to make your weaknesses your strengths. That's not the objective. The objective more so is to find people that their strengths is your weakness. And so if you have people that fill that void, then you don't ever have that blind side because it'll be a really big struggle if you're pushing through it by yourself and doing all the different roles, right? And so your weaknesses are really not your weaknesses. They're just not what you like to do. You prefer to do something else. But this video is talking about powerful affirmations that reprogram your subconscious mind. Now, we talked about making a mind movie before. We talked about some frequencies before. We talked about a few different techniques about the mind game. Now, over here, I got a boatload of freaking tabs and stuff of plenty of information. And so, oh, now it's official. I could share my screen. Cool. Who would thunk it? All I had to do is clear out this message to do that. So there's plenty of different affirmation. I literally have 100 affirmations, but I'm not even going to go through those affirmations. I'm probably going to just create them on the spot or use the ones that I commonly use. So one great affirmation that I commonly use is, this is very interchangeable into multiple realms. But I am standing under the spout where all what I used to say is blessings are coming out. But as we talked about before, blessings is more like be less. Be less. So be less you. Bless you. Anyways, not go get into that right now. But so I'm standing under the spout where all the prosperity is coming out. I'm standing under the spout where all the abundance is coming out, right? In this life, there's just abundance, right? There's abundance of thinking there's lack. There's an abundance of that. There's an abundance of of just pure, things to have, so that you could have all the things. Look at how many things that are just in the screen, let alone, right? We have diapers on this corner. We have packing stuff on this corner. This is a weight roller thing. So, and then you have all this roll and all that roll of books. And so it's like there's an abundance of all types of nonsense. And it could be nonsense to you, or it could not be nonsense to you. To me, these things are nonsense, right? Because I have them. But to you, they might be. Anyways, that's more so perspectives. We're talking about affirmations. So you probably listened to something that was very motivational. It said words, and you're like, "Oh my God, this is so powerful! I love this thing." And so when you have this feeling of this one line that is so spectacular, one of those lines for me is, "A moment of pain is worth a lifetime of glory." This was said in a movie. I want to say it was called Unbroken. It's about this guy. He ran the fastest 4 mile at the time, right back in the day. And then World War II happened after the Olympics, or kind of sort of during the Olympics, either one or two. And then so he got drafted and stuff. But anyways, that's the whole picture of that. But the his brother told him, he was like, "Hey, a moment of pain is worth a lifetime of glory," right? And so that line stuck with me, and it's like it's true. Like we have plenty of moments of pain that we go through, and all those moments of pain are worth that simple hard time, right? It's literally a blip in the spectrum of everything. It's like looking at it, it's like, was it that bad, really, right? Or were you making it bigger than what it was? Because if you don't remember it, the day after, definitely not important. If you won't remember it 50 years from now, it's probably definitely not important either. So it's like Alex Hormozi teaches the old man frame, right? Where it's like you look at the situation as your 85-year-old self, and you look back. It's like, does this matter? If it doesn't matter, then you don't care about it. If it does matter, and like your 85-year-old self will be like, wow, we gotta change that. Then do that, and that could be health, right? That could be just the way you speak things, and that could also lead to the way you affirm what you desire and what you want. Because you could affirm it in a way that's bad. Let me give you a bad affirmation. Okay, I want to be a billionaire, but like how? I do want to be a billionaire, but like how would I do that? But I want to be a billionaire though. Yeah, I don't know how I would do that. What are the steps to that? And so like you don't have to worry about the how. All this uncertainty is like really not affirming it properly. It's like, I'm going to be a billionaire. I see it. So it is. That's an affirmation, isn't it? And if so it is, and so shall it be, right? If you say that out of your mouth, it cannot be otherwise, because it's your truth, right? And we speak our own truths every day, because based on how we live our lives is literally what is hard to us. Some people are like, oh my gosh, my father, you won't believe this. You see, Ricky, he has a Ferrari. You see, Michael, he has a Lamborghini. But then me, he just gave me a BMW. Can you believe that? Everybody else's father they're in these luxury supercars, and then they have me in this poor man's vehicle. What is this? And they have a mental breakdown over something so trivial. You have a fucking car. Well, what, like, some people don't have cars, and some people who don't have cars want cars, or some people who would like to drive cars can't drive cars. There's always somebody who wants what you have, and so when you're not grateful for it, it's like there's somebody out there who is like, yeah, fuck it, you don't want it, I'll take it. um, so if you don't want it, then um, don't take it. I'll take it. Hey, hey, I don't want a Lamborghini, but you give me a Lamborghini, I'm probably gonna turn around and sell it. Probably, maybe I might keep it. Maybe I probably won't, because it's like, hey, what I want to put this 100,000, 150, 200,000. I know they get crazy up there, so it's like it could be 500,000, but it's like, and it could be millions. But it's like I would turn around and be like, "Thank you so much. I appreciate this." It's not me, but I think it's me. Yeah, for sure. I could see myself in there driving it to the dealership and being like, "Give me a check for the shit." Um, and so it's like that's how I see it, right? But some people in their situations they're ungrateful for what they have because it's like from the reality of it. Yeah, you're the poorest friend because everybody has a Ferrari, a supercar, a Lamborghini, some shit, and then you're the only one with a high class BMW, right? And it's like that's that level of struggle for that person. Another person might be like, hey, they're the last straw is um is somebody, they're doing everything that they can, and then the last straw is them, their car gets taken away, and then that's it, boom, they're done. But that's super hard. Your car's getting taken away, and that's a hard situation, right? You maybe get a repo or something like that. That's a tough situation, but again, most people's level of hard and level of struggle or suffering, if you will, is very different. Now back to the affirmations. One universal one that kind of hits every aspect that I use is I am wealthy in every aspect of life, both consciously and subconsciously at all times. And that is a blanket statement where it's like wealthy is not just for money. There's wealth in relationships, there's wealth in your health, right? Your physical body. There's wealth in your mind, there's wealth and knowledge, right? There's so many different aspects of wealth. So like this is more so like a blanket statement for both consciously. So I'm conscious right now. But what happens when I go to sleep? I'm unconscious, or it's my subconscious that's taken over because I'm in dreamland, right? Supposedly. And so it's like because of these different scenarios, you got just one blanket statement completes everything, right? Very quickly. You could say that in 2 seconds. And then you could have all other statements with it. When I talked about the mind movie, it was looping it and creating it for 15 minutes. You kind of want to do a similar thing, but it's like, no, you could just, 5 minutes affirmations and just get through them, right? Not get through them in the sense of putting your time in, because remember, these are your affirmations, so you should love them. And so instead of affirming things, it's like you speaking as well. So what are you speaking? Are you speaking things that you would like to have more of, or are you speaking things that you would like to have less of? Well, if you're speaking more of what you don't want to have, then that means you're going to have more of that. So why speak upon it at all? Just leave it alone, right? And have it disappear in the silence. And so it's very powerful that, you affirm specific things, right? And be very, I want to use the word meticulous, but hyper focus on the specific words that you use for it. And so when you do that, it becomes a more powerful thing because it's customized to you. And what you're saying is like you always want to be speaking life upon everything that you're doing, upon everybody that you meet. You might accidentally be speaking death upon them, and by speaking death upon them, you're literally it's not your fault necessarily because you don't know, right? But when you do know, then whose fault does it become? The guilt probably starts to sit more because now you consciously are doing it instead of unconsciously doing it. And so when you start speaking these words of breathing life into everything that you do, like breathing love into it, really, love is a powerful substance or resource. And so if you're putting that much effort into it and being very specific on the words you're using, because it's based on what your life looks like, right? What is your dream state of mind? Is it for you to, be in lack and just always not have enough of whatever it is, whatever resource, whether that's food, whether that's clothes, whether that's, money for bills, whatever have you, right? Or would you rather see everything working out just perfectly? You don't know how, but it just always works out perfectly, right? And if you have that frame of mind, of course, it'll be better to be more specific, more detailed. But if you just always know that it's going to work out for you, somehow, some way, That's what happens because that's what you put into this mind, as a man thinketh, so is he. I want to say I have a book here somewhere, but we'll get into the books probably in a later version of this. So, but there's affirmations for your self esteem, right? You have the motivational ones. Really, what I don't like about motivational ones, they're really good, but they're hype. And so if you don't ride the momentum and then turn that momentum into discipline, it's really hard to be consistent with it. So make sure you're using affirmations that don't make you feel too crazy, in the sense of like, if you're like, I want to be a billionaire, but you don't wholeheartedly feel that, and you're not claiming that with authority, it's not going to work, because all these affirmations have to be claimed with authority and confidence, right? If you have confidence in what you're saying, other people are going to have the confidence in what you're saying, even if you don't know what the fuck they're talking about, right? And so you could literally be like, yeah, word, really? That's crazy. That's amazing. Yeah. So and if you regurgitate back what they're saying, they're gonna feel like, oh, like, yeah, he understands everything that I'm saying. And all you gotta do is take key frames, just key specific words, and then use that, right? Oh, like, yeah, I love my mom too. Oh, the weather, yeah, the weatherman was saying this and that. Yeah, that also led to the football game or something. You could really like talk generically about stuff and make yourself seem intelligent, and that's just based on the confidence in the words you say. Like when I was in college, for the speck of time that I was in college for, literally I would walk around like I knew where the fuck I was going. I had no idea the campus is big as hell, and so like you have to walk eons, right, to make it from building to building. So I didn't know what A B C D E F G, where the fuck them shits were, right? And it's not like they have big ass plaques that say, oh G. It wasn't that simple, right? You always had to look at the map. But by walking like you knew where you were going, nobody bothered you, because you had like, oh, that guy's on a mission. He's trying to go somewhere. I'm not going to even like stop him, right? And so affirmations are super important. And so when you come and you speak, if you find a good 10 affirmations that you love, right, and you're like, these, even from motivational clips, it could be like I told you, from a movie, um, all these things you could gather all this information, really write it down, put it somewhere, right, so you have it. And so by you going through it, instead of the person's, whatever their voice is saying, it works for them, but it's not your voice, right? So the conscious mind will always be a little wary, or will block the unknown, right? But your voice is known to your conscious self, and then subconsciously it's your voice too. So all in all, like, if you're speaking all these motivational things, that's how you're reprogramming everything in your mind, and you're literally feeding yourself this. And that's the same way in every aspect of life. You might be feeding yourself content here on YouTube, right? And so by feeding yourself this content, is doing something to you, whether that's good or bad. That consequence is completely on you, right? And how you see it. So everything could be one way or the other. And so the way you affirm these things is always with authority. You have to use authority, because if you're not using authority, it's useless. It's like you have the knowledge, but you're not taking action on the knowledge. That's useless, right? And so we have to go ahead and make sure that we're making a conscious effort to put these things together in a way that work completely for us. Like, this is us reprogramming ourselves. So if it takes you 90 days, right? Is that really that long, when you've been programming yourself however many years of life you've been here? Most of us want stuff to be fixed instantly, but we'll fuck it up for years. I've been guilty of that. And so to learn to unfuck it up is to accept that whatever the process is, I'm gonna just enjoy the journey, right? That's the affirmation right there. Whatever the process is, I'm gonna enjoy it, because I'm here for the journey. I'm not here for the wins the highs and lows. I'm here for the journey and the joy of what that brings, because it's the unknown, right? I'm gonna make mistakes, but the best part about making mistakes is that you get to learn. The best part about winning is that you get to figure out how the hell can I recreate that winning, because I don't know. The first time, whoops, by accident. Second time, okay, like I know I put more effort in, but I don't know exactly which effort. It's like, okay, imagine in basketball. We're playing basketball. The objective is to score as many points. So if you're like, okay, I'm gonna be the best free throw shooter in the world. Well, let's say you only get one of those every time you get to the line. It's like that's 1 point. Okay, the next person, he figures out how to score 2 points, right? And then the next person figures out how to score 3 points. And it's with way less effort. I gotta just show up close in line, and then I just gotta shoot the ball, right? And then I got 3 points. So I don't have to worry about the physical altercations of like going in the paint, right? I don't have to worry about that. Less injuries, hypothetically, because I don't have to worry about that. And all I have to do is like make it into my zone of 3 points and shoot that thing. It's like, okay, if each one does 10, there's a big disparity between each one. So the 1 point guy does 10 points, the 2 point guy does 20 points, right? And then the 3 point guy does 30 points. So it's like the multiplier is definitely there. And so which lever do you want to pull? Do you want to pull on the lower lever first, or do you want to pull on the higher lever first? Because that gets you out quicker, right? And so by using these affirmations with your voice, that's the quicker speed of it. It's like, again, the people saying the motivational thing or the meditation is really good, right? But what would be better if it was you saying that to you? That would be the power. It's like me talking to me. It's like, okay, I have no choice but to listen to me. If I set myself parameters and I'm like, okay, Emmanuel, this is a video. If you do this silly thing, like, okay, let's say for example, I'm not a big fan of hitting women. If you hit a woman, that means that you're a woman yourself. Talking to men. And so that's what that means to me. And so if I ever were to hit a woman, well, guess what the manual would say? Hey, if you hit a woman, you might as well just jump off the bridge, because that wasn't even worth you doing any of that, right? And so these parameters that we have for ourselves is it's like super hyper specific. Hey, this is a line that if somebody crosses this line for me, I'm out. I'm done. And so no matter what, it's like one if somebody hits that line, it's like I don't care if we're making billions of dollars, millions of dollars, however many of dollars. We're the bestest of friends. We've been in this relationship for however long. It has to end, because it's like you cross that line that you don't cross. So if it fucks with the integrity, if you will, then there's no point in moving on with this relationship. And that's really the key part, is that this is how we reprogram ourselves, by taking the time and using the correct information to feed ourselves. And that is based off of your dreams, your goals, your aspirations. So if you enjoyed this video and any of the other videos I posted, I do this live thing apparently every day at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. So if you're looking forward to the next one of these, don't worry, that's happening tomorrow. And then the next day, and then foreseeable next day before that. And it's going to continue for a long time, apparently. And so, unfortunately, you got me by the wrist, and I'm here making content. So, if you enjoyed this, make sure you click the link below. Join the I Learned It from the Internet community, because there is where we could have some deeper communication, and you get more access to me and a bunch of dope people that are in the community already. So, if you want to be a part of the party of like currently 20 people, then make sure you click the link in the description and join that. But if that's too much for you, it's too much money, ooh, then stay here on social media. Follow me on all the other socials. I got Instagram, I got LinkedIn, I got Twitter, I got TikTok, Facebook page, fan page, and stuff like that. So just go follow me on all the pages right there as well. If you're into the free content, because the free content is literally everywhere. But with that being said, I'll see you guys on the next video, which is happening tomorrow at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Peace.